Good afternoon on this lovely overcast Sunday on the still gorgeous Gold Coast. It's been a very relaxing day today. Went for a nice walk this morning and enjoyed the simple things out there, which is always great. I just wanted to have a little yarn the Sabo on a subject that was one of the greatest insights into getting out of some really tough, dark places in my life. And there's one thing that I identified that I didn't identify prior to realizing that my life and my struggles and how unhappy I was, a part of that was related to me not accepting or acknowledging that I was wrong in my life in areas that were having an impact on my life and having an impact on other people's lives. And when I realised that I was having this impact, I seen the power in acknowledging it. And the power in acknowledging that what I was doing and how I was acting at times was wrong gave me leverage to create a new way and see a new way where I was able to start getting out of the unhappiness, the struggle, the prison that I was creating through this lack of identity, of knowing that I was doing many things wrong. And a lot of it was my behaviour and my attitude towards life. I had this attitude where I come first and that was the most important thing in my life. And I get that. We're all self-centered, even as children. We think the world revolves around us. But the problem I found myself in, that this righteousness and ego and having a fear of showing, displaying to other humans and myself that I was either doing the wrong thing, or I didn't want to show any kind of, I thought was weakness to other people, and that stuff came out of fear. I I got brought up in an environment with the head of the family, who was extremely threatening and intimidating and violent and aggressive. And that's all I knew. I didn't know. I didn't know any better. So it came. It also directed or, or came back to me protecting my feelings and my emotions. The more I tried to protect the false person I was, the more unhappy I became in my life. I couldn't reach myself. I couldn't reach my feelings. And that was all to do with not admitting that my behaviour was unacceptable. What I was doing, what was not right. I did make bad decisions. I did do things that were unacceptable. I was wrong. I was scared. And when I realised that the power in acknowledging when I was wrong, it shone a light onto the trap I was in and the prison I was living in. Not physically behind bars, but in society. I actually created my own hell. By not admitting when I was out of line, out of fear. It all had to do with protecting myself and trying to get what I could out of life. So when I started to acknowledge that through my actions and my behaviour that I could be wrong, I started to behave in that way and act like that. If I made a decision that didn't turn out the way that I was intending the outcome of that decision, I would say I was wrong. If I impacted other humans and they made me aware that my behaviour was unacceptable, that was enough to understand within my soul that I had to admit to those people that I had an impact over them. irrespectively of my ego or my arrogance. And this gave me freedom. It gave me freedom with connecting with other people, because it appeared other people enjoyed that behaviour I was showing them, and I enjoyed showing that vulnerability or behaviour or action towards them, because I wanted to maintain relationships with all people. As once upon a time, I didn't have the ability to do that. So admitting I was out of line, not always from my actions, from what others felt. And I allowed myself to be confronted by other people because they felt a lot safer in my presence, where once upon a time I could never accept somebody saying to me that I made them feel a certain way or I done something to them. I wasn't capable of handling that. So it was a good wake-up call when I had the revelation that admitting what I was doing in my life was going to help me create a better life. I somewhat took the blinkers off, and by by taking those blinkers off, it showed the possibilities where I could take that in my new life. And I did it in every in every situation, with people I didn't know, new environments, when I would desire new things in my life, new ventures, new experiences, new motivations to take me down different roads to achieve. Down those roads there had to be a lot of acknowledgement from me with not getting it right. It was all learning, and admitting I was wrong became learning to get it right. And I did get it right. I got it right from admitting I was wrong. And that was one of the greatest gifts I had ever received. If I couldn't admit what was wrong in my life to my own soul and to other people, I don't know how I could have went down the roads I've been down and the things I've done and all the things I've experienced from living in the darkness of despairs in heroin addiction to the darkness of despairs in prison cells to the darkness of despairs of hopelessness, no way out, living in hell. Mean environments, fearful environments, scary environments. I took stock of it all, and I admitted that I did everything to get me in there. And I also admitted that I did everything to get me out of there. And I did that by acknowledging all the wrongs I was doing to get me in there. And there was a lot of wrongs. There was a lot of wrongs. I was a very scared, insecure, inadequate, unconfident, cynical, skeptical, unsure, angry, threatening, intimidating. I was very weak. And when I seen that within my soul and admitted that, that gave me power. That gave me a lot of power. Drug abuse, lies, deception, blame, dishonesty, there was a lot of stuff in there that I admitted, and it was the best thing I could have ever done. And I don't think without that, if a person is living a life of struggle, I don't know how to get out of that kind of life without incorporating acknowledgement that you are contributing to it. You are contributing to it. Not the people you're associating with, not the drugs, not your lifestyle, not your circumstances, not governments, not other people. It's you. You stand alone in this world. You came into this world by yourself, and you're going to leave this world with others or by yourself. But you have free will, and in that free will you can choose to acknowledge or not acknowledge that it is your choice. And a part of that choice is acknowledging what you're doing. That is paramount. without admitting your behaviour and what you do, good luck. But one day you will admit what you're doing. As people grow so-called older in age, I don't believe in age, I just believe in maturity. But as you develop through your life, you'll see things that you know in your heart that's wrong, that you've been doing. My advice is, if you see that now, you do something about that now, because it's going to catch up with you in the future. And it might be a little bit too late further down the line. Take care and have a good remaining Sunday. Look after yourself.